Episode 1.
Long distance friendships. This is episode 1 on long distance friendships, and it's crazy we're doing this.
It's the official episode 1.
Official first episode. Sorry. Apologies. I forgot we already did one.
I know. I'm sorry. Our first episode is out. How crazy is that?
I know. And it was just so slay that we already, we moved on. Before we get into it, how have you been? Let's catch up.
Let's catch up. It is the first full week back to work post-holiday. Let me tell you, it's hard. It's very hard. I feel like I am mentally not back, but physically I am. And every small task that I have to do with my day feels like it's hours long. My workday today felt like it was 16 hours instead of 8.
Jeez.
I think by next week I'll be back in the flow. I started to feel it a little bit today, and I was like, okay, this is my job. I have to do my job. I'm trying to think what else happened this week. So first full week back to work. I went to book club yesterday. I'm in a book club.
Oh my gosh, what are you reading? Give me a book rec. Give the people the book rec.
This isn't a book rec personally for me. I gave it 3 stars. It was a good read, but I wouldn't recommend it, but others might love it. Called The Rachel Incident.
Okay,
by
never read
someone Donahue. Carolyn, someone Donahue. Whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, I've been in this book club for several months now, okay?
Okay.
I did not read the first book.
Great. Good job.
I read the next few, but could not physically go. I was like, we have a group chat going called A Very Serious Book Club. Shout out to them. And yesterday was the first club in person that I attended. And it was great. I really liked it. But the next book we're reading, I'll tell you this in case anybody wants to read in this with us. We're reading James, a novel by Percival Everett. It is a reimagining of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Oh my gosh, I love that book. Whoa.
Yeah, so very excited for that. Yeah, and then my birthday's tomorrow.
Your birthday is tomorrow. And for the people listening, that is what? A week ago? A week and a day ago?
Yeah, a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, everybody wish Parrish a happy belated birthday. And
do it.
Make sure.
Do it now.
Do it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
guys,
dear
stop.
Parrish.
Stop it. I'm
to
blushing.
you.
I'm blushing.
Oh my God. Wait, that's huge. That's the big 27. Do you know about the 27 club?
Yes.
I don't want to scare you. Okay, you do
know
know about it?
do, but I made it to 27. I have to make it past 27 though. Isn't that the thing?
Yeah,
with
it's
it?
the 28. You're fine. I shouldn't have said that right before your
Mostly.
birthday,
No, it's fine.
but you've got a kick-ass year ahead of you. I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Watch it be on one of my kick-ass trips. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, dude, I was obsessed with Janis Joplin and I think Jimi Hendrix, all those people who were in it. And I was like, you know what? They were doing a lot of drugs. So
they were doing so many drugs,
you guys. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah. But enough about me. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I think I said kind of just been unemployed.
I think I kind of said it with one word, unemployed.
Anyone who's been unemployed can, when I say that, they can just really, they know what I'm saying. They get it. The people who've been through it get it. You're just doing nothing. And my little sister is here right now. She doesn't go back to school. Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know her school was back in session. Or not in session.
Yeah, so she goes back to school in 5 in a week, maybe less than that. She doesn't start till the 2nd, 3rd week of August or December. Wait, what the fuck am I saying? January. January. She starts January. Jeez.
And folks, that is a prime example of unemployment.
Time is irrelevant to me. Seriously, though. I've been getting fit. I've been starting to swim again. I used to swim 5 days a week, and I've been going 3 to 4. And I've been moving my body every single day. As much as I can shit on myself for maybe being lazy, I at least did that,
No, I love it. What are you drinking tonight?
Okay, I went out to the store tonight and I bought a drink because I wanted to be ready and I wanted to input at sponsor.
Sponsors, pay attention. Sponsors, pay attention now.
This is your opportunity to fit in whatever drink you would like us to drink right here. We will promote you for money.
On the Let's Keep in Touch podcast with Talie and Parrish. Anyways, what are you drinking?
So I've been drinking, Poppy. Have you ever had one of these?
Yes, I do know Poppy.
What are you drinking?
I am going a little wild tonight, okay? If you listened to last week's episode, you know that I'm doing AKA Damp January. And by that, I mean 1 weekend out of the month, I guess is what I'm going to go to because someone in book club said this. And I said, that's a great idea to drink alcohol. So tonight I'm drinking a tequila soda that I made at home. To kick off my birthday weekend because I took tomorrow off of work.
It literally looks like you're drinking water.
It's the benefit. And it tastes really good, actually. Like, honestly, you guys, there's 3 shots of tequila in here. And the night is young.
And the night is young, and we're going to get into some friendship.
Long distance friendship. Should we get into it?
Let us get into it. In the first unofficial episode, we talked about not being really experts in anything, but dare I say we are experts in long distance friendships.
I agree fully. 120% could not agree with you more if I was in the rubbing of the genie's thing.
You heard it here.
Lamp.
So I think that we know a lot about this topic solely off of experience. My goal today is I just want to talk about kind of what it takes to maintain a long distance friendship. Do you have any goals for this convo?
I think one of the goals that I was kind of thinking in the back of my head is I would love to debate this idea. I think long distance friendships are stronger than most of your day-to-day friendships. And I don't mean that in a bad way to anybody that's in your life day-to-day. I have very close people here that I do consider, you know, like my best friends in person, but I also think like my long distance friendships, you know, are really, really strong. And I would love to kind of debate why that is maybe. I almost think it kind of goes with the idea like distance makes the heart grow fonder. I don't see my long distance friends every day. I don't always talk to them every day. But when I do, we kind of talked about this in last week's episode. It's like no time has passed. I see all these other people like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, which I love. Like I love them. But there's something that like these friendships that really just strikes something else in me. And yeah, so maybe it's the distance and seeing and catching up with people.
Okay, so I was reading an article or something before kind of about this. So it's interesting you brought this up because I was reading a little bit about how someone was saying the opposite, where if you don't put in the work to these long distance friendships, they actually become more superficial than you want them to be. I see this happen a lot with friendships where they'll be apart for a really long time and then you'll come back together and you don't really have much to talk about because it's been a while, you don't really know where it's going. And so you'll just talk about all the things you did in the past and you'll just be like super nostalgic the whole time you're seeing each other. And we definitely have done that. And
absolutely.
I think because we put in work, we moved past that being the basis of our conversation. But I think that's where it can maybe lose its steam because you're so like focused on the past that you're not like creating any new sort of memories.
You're almost like too caught up in the past of what you were, not of what you are. And you have to put the, like you've mentioned, we've put the work in to be, where are we now? It's fun to talk about the past. It's fun to talk about some of the crazy things we've gone through and like done together, you know, but like those people aren't the same people on this podcast right now. I mean, half the shit we did when we were young, I don't actually want to talk about, you know?
Yeah, dude, for sure. When I think of long distance friends, I think the first time most people experience those, it's straight out of high school because most people are making all these friends. And then after high school, people are going off to colleges like all across the states. That's the first time I think you really get that like, ooh, long distance friend. How do I do this? And for me, I felt like so excited that we were all doing our own things.
Yeah.
But I lost a lot of friends after that because it just instantly, the distance made us realize we actually only cared about each other because we were in the same place.
Right. Like seeing each other daily, not even, it like kind of going back to superficial a little bit. Like we're just all kind of in the same shit right now. And I think the other thing with that, when you're that young and starting to be like, wow, I get to go do these things. I hope I keep up with these people. You get so caught up in doing your thing that you're not keeping up with your people, which is okay.
Your friendships totally do go through phases and you're not always, it's not always going to be your best friend you talk to every single day, you text every day, you're FaceTiming whenever. Like sometimes being long distance, you need to realize they have an entire life going on with an
Yeah.
entire set of friends that you probably don't even know.
And
It's
might
kind of weird.
not ever know, which is okay as well. And I think
Totally.
that's exciting as well, because we can have these calls, right? And it kind of gives the opportunity to vent about whatever is going on, drama, friends, etc. Because at the end of the day, your long distance friends know you at your core, truly. I can still come to them with all this drama and they don't know what's going on, and you can vent about some of that day-to-day shit.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about a long distance friend being kind of somebody almost outside of your day to day, like outside of your inner circle, but in a way that makes them even like more deeply integrated in it.
Yeah. It's almost like the 7 rings of like hell. like
Explain
like
that.
yeah, let's back up. Now I need to look up the 7 rings of hell to make sure I'm gonna say this right.
What does your shirt say? Poopy or
It
poppy?
says poppy. For those listening, it says poppy. It's a beautiful little crew neck salmon.
Not
with
poopy.
Blue stitching. Not poopy. And if you're watching this, you can read as opposed to towel. 7 rings. I feel so grandpa. I'm on my iPad. Okay, well, I don't even want to get into what the 7 rings of hell go through, but if you let's just look at a photo, okay? Let me back up. Visually, I'm thinking the 7 rings of hell, okay? You have one circle in the middle, right? That's hell or whatever. I'm speaking out my ass.
Speak
Okay,
poopy.
visually, the center of hell is the first.
Sorry, I'm done.
Poopy's angry. Poopy's gonna poop on you. No. The center of hell, let's say, if there's 7 rings of hell, let's say you're on a journey to let's look at the center of the earth, actually. The magma core is your family.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm there.
The
I'm
magma
there.
core is your family. The next layer, I think, is your best friends, long distance friends.
Okay.
Then as you work your way up to the surface of the earth, you have your everyday people. And those range in different layers of the earth, okay? Like then you have your everyday friends, then you have your coworkers, and then you have like one night stands, friends for a night, strangers, etc. Like, people you're really not close with at all.
No, yeah. I liked the like magma analogy. It worked.
Okay. I'm not even halfway through my drink.
Yeah, you're basically saying that you believe, and I agree with this, that your long distance friends weirdly feel closer to you sometimes than the people you see on a regular basis. That's normal. I think that's so real. I don't think that's talked about enough. I have lived so many places and I've worked a lot of seasonal jobs. I met so many people, but they were never friends that stuck around. And I always felt like I was making really great friends. Then they'd get up and they'd leave. And then I was like, boom, now I have another long distance friend. And I probably have 20 amazing long distance friends, like amazing.
Yep.
Like could call any second I want and they'd hop on a plane and come see me. And it's weird to me because then I will be settled.
Right.
And then I was like, I have no friends because I didn't have people with me that could go do things with me. It made me feel like, oh my gosh, nobody wants to be friends with me. I must be so awful and terrible. And the people that I've made friends with moved away.
Which isn't even the case.
It isn't even the case. They were just going off and doing their lives. And that's what I love that in people. It's so inspiring.
Yeah.
You saying that is really powerful for me personally because I'm like, holy shit, I have a fuckload of friends. Forgot about that.
I think the other part with that too, I kind of want to just make this statement and feel free to agree or disagree that long distance friends are not always states apart. They could be friends across town, but just with life going on. They're other friends that maybe you haven't met yet or know, and their jobs and careers and families and, different milestones they're hitting. Like there's long distance friends, that I have that range from starting to get pregnant. And now that's a whole different world for them. Right. And so it's like, oh, okay, well those friends might not want to go out on a Friday night now because they have to stay home and take care of the baby. And I get it. You know what I mean? Or when they do want to go out, I'll be there, but that's going to be so far and few between, and it's just a different long distance friend. What do you think are key things that make a long distance friendship work?
I think the biggest thing is not overthinking what this friendship means to you. Because a lot of times I'll go, ooh, I haven't called them, I haven't texted them in this many months. Don't even think that. Don't even say that in your text. Just literally call them and be like, I missed you. What are you doing? That's it. It doesn't always have to be like the long text. It can literally just be a quick little meme thing.
Yeah, literally send me a meme.
I love that shit.
Give me a call. Give me a 15-minute call. I'm all ears.
Tell me about a long distance friendship that didn't work out and why.
Yeah, I had a couple, I think, long distance friendships that fizzled out when I moved back from New York. That was a very challenging time for me personally. I felt like I wanted to be back in Denver, which I'm so grateful. And Denver is home. Like I can confidently say that. But I was trying to keep up with my New York friends, some of them, and the effort just wasn't getting returned. Like truly is why it fizzled out. I felt like I was always the one reaching out. I was the one that visited the most. And I get it. Everyone's in New York. You know, to put that out there, like I get it. Everyone's in New York. It's easier for one person to come to New York than multiple to come to Denver. But I'm kind of like, even if one person came to Denver, it would have been nice. I was at a point where I didn't ask for that as well. And I think I just kind of felt like, hey, this is kind of going back to that superficial topic. Now I feel like we were so close. And when I left, because I was not part of that day-to-day inner circle and they didn't want to keep up the effort that I was putting in, it just fizzled. And I was okay with it. Like it was one of those things I was like, you know what? I'm not getting the effort that in return that I'm putting in. What happens when I stop putting effort in? And then it's like the second you make that decision, the universe is like, this person wants to talk to you now. This person was in my life for a reason and a season, which I think is okay. And I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about friendships in general. You know, that's hard. I think those are hard things. And forever grateful for that. Some of my best memories in New York are with these people. And, you know, it's just effort's a two-way street. It's a two-way street, I think. And I think I just had hit a breaking point. Have you had something like that?
I had one, and I think you know about it, where it was like right after high school. And I had a really great friend. I felt like our friendship was amazing. I just loved this person dearly. And I thought we would be friends, best friends our whole lives, honestly. I was going through a really bad time in my life. And so when I went to college, I took a year off, but I went the second year. I met my boyfriend, who I'm still with today. So when I met this guy, as most people do, most people meet a boy or girl and then they like spend all their time with them. And like all of my friends in person were like, you spend no time with us. And I was like, I know, I'm literally get it. I'm obsessed with this boy. I'm sorry. I'm horrible.
As you should be,
you know?
As you should have been.
As you should be. I had called her and basically it came up that I had this boyfriend, and then she kind of like got really upset at me and was like, well, we used to talk all the time and I didn't even know you had a boyfriend and it's been like 2 months since we talked. And then she just was like, you're a really bad friend. And to this day, I don't even think this person knows this, but that has been the hardest hump for me to get over. When I meet a friend, I always think I'm the worst friend. I genuinely, and so I'm like going out of my way to be a good friend. And when they're like, hey, you suck at communicating, I take that as like, I'm the worst friend. They're going to break up with me. They don't want to be my friend anymore. And so it was really hard for me to get over that friendship. I mourned it almost more than I mourned an ex-boyfriend.
And that is hard. That is a breakup. It is a breakup.
It is a freaking breakup. When you have a good ass friendship and it ends, that shit's tragic.
I think here's something I want to throw out there. When you get friends like that, that truly moves out of the friendship category and moves almost into family. Do you know what I mean?
It really does. And I think I was really close with this person and I was like, it was getting there. And then, it fizzled. I tried to reconnect later and I think we both tried. And you know what? I think it was the age. And also I was a fucking terrible communicator. I was so bad. I was going through a bad time in my life. I knew I wasn't a good friend, but it's weird though, because you're like, I want it so bad, and then years later we're like trying to reconnect and I'm like, it's just not there. And maybe
it's just not there.
Could come back, but
doors open.
Doors open always.
I think it's just if you can't grow together and you have to grow separately, love that. I love it. And if there's a time where like those grown up versions of you, and we're always growing, XYZ whatever, can reconnect, amazing. If not, cool. Again, season and a reason for a season.
Friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends for a lifetime. Sometimes it's just about timing. So
Yeah, it's just life. It's just life.
do you ever get jealous of like friends I've made or your other long distance friends where you see them creating these friendships and lives and you almost feel like you're not a part of it?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, but I think you nailed it with the second half of that of I wish I was there.
Yeah,
I
FOMO.
wish I was joining in on the fun and the joy you're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
And not even because I'm not providing it. It's not that. It's you look like you're having so much fun or you're connecting with this person on such a great level. And if you're connecting with that person on such a great level, I bet I would at least have some kind
I
of
would.
commonality. You know what I mean? Like I would. I think
Yeah.
it is that FOMO aspect. It's not like
I know.
jealous that they're making these other friends and other connections.
Mhm.
It's jealous
I
that
wish I was there.
I wish I was there. I love that you're having such a great night or a great time or a great friendship. And I love that
Yeah.
you're getting another friend. You know what I mean? Not like just something
Yeah.
like that, I think.
I definitely have FOMO. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody I know lives in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
jealous when y'all go out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I should be in Denver. I should be in Denver. Even though I'm not meant to be there, it's like weird. So I just
Or
had
it's
to
the
ask because
petition. It's the petition to
it's
get Talie to Denver.
it's the petition.
Everyone
And
vote
then
in the
y'all,
comments.
you guys do some. Look at me saying y'all. I just moved to. I'm in
Y'all.
South Carolina. I'm just saying y'all now.
She's a Southern belle now.
I'm just a Southern belle. I actually believe that in my past life. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, I had to ask you because I think everyone feels that. Like I feel
Yeah.
it all the time with my friends. I'm like, do you like them more? Do you want to
Yeah.
hang? You don't want to come here? Come here. Hang out with
Come
me.
on. Come over here. I got snacks. I got snacks and I got drinks. I got
That's
snacks.
it. I got
You remind me
snacks
of
and
Sid.
Poppy.
You remind me of Sid the Sloth.
Oh, from Ice Age?
Yeah, I don't know. And then snacks reminded me of that little acorn with the raccoon looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just doing that thing. Have you seen Enchanted? Sorry, this is so ADHD, but you know,
Apple?
my favorite. Yes!
No, thank you.
He's good. Dude, I would kill to be in that movie. I would
It's
be the
already
chipmunk
filmed.
again. What?
Patrick
Wait.
Dempsey's in it.
What?
Enchanted 2 has been filmed.
Is
Amy
it
Adams-
out?
Let's look it up.
Okay.
iPad Dad for those not watching on
Yeah,
platform.
for real.
Enchanted 2 is out. Came out in 2022.
Shut the fork up. Oh, well, obviously did not hit well like the last one because we would have been
It did get
Heard
a
about
38. It got a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
rats. That's
We should
bad.
watch it and put this in next week's segment. A little review.
Okay, I'll watch it. Yeah, we'll give you the
Okay.
review. Because I'm a big fan of the first one. Idina Menzel, Amy Adams, Patrick
I know.
Dempsey, like
Icons.
stacked cast.
Here is this week's Let's Keep in Touch listener write-in. By the way, all write-ins are anonymous. We like you to come up with cool names. Just a reminder.
This week's response is from Cowgirl333. Shout out to Cowgirl333. You have
We love
won
you.
this feature. Okay, so I'm going to read this, Parrish. Say whatever you want about it, all right? So this is a story from
I haven't read it.
He hasn't read it. The question, the theme of this week is, what is your long distance best friend story? I, 20F, F stands for female, met my ex best friend Megan the summer before I started 6th grade. She was a grade ahead of me at another school. We got super close, FaceTiming, Snapchatting, texting all the time. We would always find time to stay at each other's houses, sometimes for the weekend. We would have typical fights here and there. Sometimes we wouldn't speak for months, but we always picked back up. She was like a sister to me, considering mine was 8 years older and hers was 11 years younger than her. In 2021, her father passed away, who she was extremely close to, although it was tragic. I feel like it could be why she became who she was. July of 21, she stayed with me for the 4th of July as my mom was out of town and I didn't want to be alone. We went and watched fireworks at the lake in my town, got Taco Bell, and came home. When I woke up the next day, she was already gone, which wasn't suspicious. What was suspicious was my $1,000 MacBook Air being literally missing from my home.
No frickin' way, dude. Continue.
I only had brushed it off because her cousin came over that night. About a year and a half later, I stayed the night at her apartment for New Year's Eve. We had plans and I had seen your pictures that day, so I got ready that morning and grabbed my things after we got back and headed to my pictures. I guess I left my setting spray at her apartment and didn't realize until the next few days getting ready for work. No big deal. Her apartment was in the same town as my high school, so I asked her to set it on her porch so I could pick it up. Well, I had to practically beg for it back for a few days. I eventually said, forget it, and I just bought a new one. And as I was heading to work, she brought it to my house, except she mixed in some red nail polish. Okay, that didn't need to be in there.
Into the setting
Surprisingly,
spray?
oh, maybe. Oh my God, she totally did. What the fuck?
Okay, continue.
Crazy. Okay. Surprisingly, I forgave her. Flash forward to my first year of college. She stays the night with me for Halloween, a Friday night. She stopped by my mom's to grab a few things I needed, one being a hoodie for class. We go to some parties and she ended up sleeping on my couch. I woke up the next morning extremely hungover and she was already gone. I laid in a bed all day and didn't get around up and didn't get up and get around to do anything productive until about Sunday. That's when I realized my brand new Stanley and Patagonia hoodie were gone. My roommates weren't there to take it, so it was obvious. I cried about it for a week, sent her a text saying, I hope our 7 years of friendship was worth my Stanley. I couldn't imagine doing that to you, and just blocked her number. So yeah, that's the story of how I was BFFs with a kleptomaniac for 7 years. Whoa.
Dude.
That's tea.
That is tea. Okay. Okay, let me say this first of all. Condolences to her and her family for her dad. Girl, your laptop was missing and you were like, no big deal. It's just who she became.
That's what I want to say about this story. That would be where I drew the line. I mean,
Like the setting
spray,
spray.
Stanley,
Yeah, the setting
whatever.
I'm like, the $1,000 MacBook. I mean, I guess you're young.
But did
You're
she
young.
follow up? Like, that's what I want to know. Did she follow up?
Yeah, did you get the laptop back ever? That's what I want to know. So if you're listening.
We're asking like she responded. Did you get it back then?
And surprise guest on the podcast. Okay, I guess you're young when you're like, she's in the 6th grade, 7th grade. If someone like took your laptop, like maybe you are like, I don't know what happened. Did I lose it at school? Did she actually take it? Like, you're so young that you're not like, you took it. Because then if you say that, it's like social status in middle school and high school, blah, 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 whatever. Could be like at stake. But I agree. I don't know why after that, if you know it was her, which it sounds like you do, it wouldn't be done then. Maybe that's just an age thing.
It's weird because I read that story twice and I didn't catch the putting nail polish in the setting spray. I thought she was saying she threw in some red nail polish to like saying she also gave her red nail polish, but she put red nail polish in her setting spray. That's psychotic.
Evil. That's evil. Like she's going out with a red tint every time she uses it. Setting spray. Isn't setting spray like cheap? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just a man here.
It's not. Well, it depends what kind you get. Okay, like it can be cheap.
Let's say it's setting spray from Walgreens.
Yeah, it could be cheap. You could get a setting spray for like $10 or whatever.
Okay,
but then $10. A lot of girls have like really fancy ass setting sprays, so it could be like a Charlotte Tilbury, and that's like $40. So,
really?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I take it back. I apologize. I don't know what type of setting spray you had, but it's so devious for your ex-best friend to go, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take time out of my day and hurt my best friend with this. Because I'll tell you right now, how did you learn there was red nail polish in it? Like, did you use it? And then you were like, why is my face red? Right. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Did she ask her? Because how would she know it was nail polish?
How did it end again? She blocked her? Or what was the final breaking point? What was the breaking point?
The final breaking point was that she stole her brand new Stanley and brand new Patagonia hoodie, which collectively together is probably
that's a lot of money.
You know what? Bucks.
She's probably out like $1,200 at least.
For real. At least
over
that's
7
years. For the MacBook. Yeah, I love it. She texted, I hope our 7 years of friendship was worth my Stanley. And then blocked her number. That's so iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes you just have to do that though. When somebody is that is so devious, the way the ex-best friend did this. And I have to say I am fortunate to not have gone through a loss the way she did, you know? But I don't think that's any excuse to treat someone that horribly.
Especially a friend who's like
There for
actively
you
like inviting you over and hanging out with you, and
and wanting to
it's
spend time with you, and like
yeah,
your so-called best friend, you're going to treat that way. If I
yeah.
treated my best friends that way, I know they would get on a plane, fly here, and beat the shit out of me. Mine would be like, if you stole my MacBook, I filed a police report.
That's a good friend. All right, that was Cowgirl 333's story.
This one's kind of crazy. I think you're going to be shook by it.
Oh
Truly.
my God. This is the best part of our podcast, is just reading Juicy Tea, because we've been talking so seriously, and now it's like,
I know.
okay, now let's gab. Let's go.
I know. I think
gab
there's
a word? Is it yap? What is the word?
Yap or gab. Let's gab.
I said gab.
I like either.
Okay, well, is gab a word though? Is that a thing?
Yeah, we're going to gab.
Okay, anyway, we're gabbing.
Here is my Reddit titled Long Distance Friendship Ended After Nearly a Decade. Parentheses, 23 male, 22 male, 21 male. Wait,
Okay.
I love this. Wow, it's gay. I didn't even read that one. I skimmed over that. I'm just laughing because reading this out loud is going to be so crazy. These are crazy. Are you ready? I've recently been kicked out of a friend group because of something I did to break their trust. This year, I met up with friends for the first time, something that has been our dream for a very long time. We all have complex relationships towards each other, some friendly and some dating, but ultimately loving each other. So, a new relationship starts between three friends during this trip. Again, 23 male, 22 male, 21 male, who we'll call Adam, Bernie, and Corey. Me, 22 male, and Corey, 21 male, are also very close. And I dated Adam, 23 male, many years ago, briefly, which ended on good terms. As a result of the new relationship, a lot of old feelings came back up for me, which I didn't expect, and I felt a bit jealous and left out. So, Adam and Corey are now dating. That's the tea.
Oh, wait.
Bernie is this person writing.
Right. Got
So
that.
Adam and Corey are now dating. Bernie and Adam had a relationship years ago that ended on good terms. Just
Got
to
it.
reiterate.
Thank you. I was
Okay.
lost.
I know. He threw the names in there and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, too much.
this all culminated on me getting high and later bursting in on them while they were having sex and yelling about that they knew this would make me upset. I felt left out and that they were selfish for doing so. I could immediately tell that they were hurt and regretted it and apologized. I apologized to them again, genuinely, but haven't heard from them since 3 months now. And my last contact with them was them saying it was likely that this was it. Do you think there's any coming back from this? I would truly do anything to repair the trust I've broken, but I know that doing anything right now would likely make things worse. I don't want to lose them over one outburst, and I honestly am not sure if there's other stuff in the past that has added up to them cutting me off. But if there was, I know I would have been apologetic and worked on it. One last thing to note is that though communicating through a mutual friend, I found out that the encounter felt like sexual harassment in nature to them. This is obviously in hindsight, but on initially relaying the encounter to our mutual friend, I didn't see it as this. It's so unthinkable for this nightmare to happen and for it to feel like that I didn't realize it until it was said. Adam felt like I was playing the victim by leaving out this detail. He has every right to be upset, but I assured him that it was not on purpose and I take full responsibility for what I did. The too long don't read. My friends of 8+ years kicked me out of the group because of my jealous outburst. Is there anything I can do or that I'm missing? Thank you in advance. Any advice is appreciated. By the way, this was posted 1 day ago.
Shut the fuck up.
I am not joking.
What? That's crazy. I have so many feelings and thoughts about this. Can I tell you something? It's kind of weird, but I had kind of a similar situation, but not in the extent of somebody walking in on me having sex. But
are you talking about you and me in Boulder?
No.
Oh, like I read it and you said that and I was like, she has had
Please
this
do not.
experience.
Oh my God, when I was making out with that acapella guy.
Yeah, that is a too long don't listen conversation.
I just think it's weird to say that was sexual harassment
I agree with that take. My other take is go to therapy.
for this
And I mean
guy.
that, yeah, the person writing this, I mean that
Yeah.
so not in like a joking way. I truly mean like the fact that you go, it's bringing up a lot of old feelings that I didn't expect. And I felt jealous and left out. I get it, but you ended this many years ago. You ended this other relationship many years ago. And then like you
Yeah.
burst in on them, or I want to know, did you burst in? Or was it an accident? But you said burst in, so I imagine and you were yelling that they knew this would make you upset. I don't know if that was their intention. I think they were horny and they wanted to have sex.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Do you know what I
Wait.
mean?
Yeah, like
Do you want me
honestly,
to
I was
reread
on
that?
this. Yeah, because I was on this guy's side. I was like, oh, he just came in and saw this and he didn't know they were
Yeah.
dating. But did he know they were dating before he bursted in?
Yes. So they go on this trip. As a result of the new relationship, a lot of old feelings came back for me, which I didn't expect. Next
Right.
paragraph. This all culminated, meaning he has known about this, on me getting high and later bursting in on them while they were having sex and yelling about that. They knew this would make me feel upset. I felt left out and that they were selfish for doing so. It'd be interesting to know, when did he find out they were in a relationship? Because
That's
if
what
you've
I'm
known
saying.
about it for a little, like if it was like this is your first trip in a long time together and you found out on the trip, okay, I can get why old feelings and feeling left out would like hit.
Yeah,
But my other
absolutely.
side of that is like, you broke up many years ago and it was
Yeah,
briefly, and you ended on good terms. So I
yeah.
personally, I don't know, if a friend bursted in on me, I don't know if I would cut them out of my life. I don't think that's what it would be. I think it'd be like, hey, we need to chat. We need to have a serious conversation, because at the end of the day, it's not worth losing a friend over. It's not murder.
I genuinely believe if you were actually good friends with this person, you would not just cut them out if they're like willing to work on it.
Okay, here's the first comment. It feels like you're minimizing it to just one outburst, when really those
Ooh.
are deep feelings that have been there a while. So who's to say that another outburst or something wouldn't happen again because of the underlying emotions that led to it? I do have to say, I think they should be open to a conversation. I think I agree with that. Like again, this is like a make or break clearly in this friend group. It sounds like. The writer responded, right? That's a fair point. Thank you. And honestly, I mean, I did tell them while apologizing, but like the regret I feel for hurting them far overshadows the jealousy, you know? I'd much rather feel jealous than lose them altogether. But of course, it's for them to decide what they want to do. And there's one more comment. Another person asked if you messaged them. The author said, yes, I did, about a month apart, recently in the last week. Something along the lines of, hey, it's up to you to talk. It's up to you, but I want to talk. Your friendship meant a lot. No response. And then this commenter responded, well, I think it would have been better to explain and properly apologize in the one text, in addition to how you'll change going forward. Your simple text pretty much leaves it up to them to direct the conversation when it's more of your responsibility as the person who fucked up. I do think that this person, it is playing a little like cat and mouse, and he's being mouse, not cat. He's not fully
Yeah.
taking initiative to really fix it. Like I do agree with that comment of like, you're texting them and leaving it up to them. Like, if you wanted,
Be clear.
be clear. Even if they don't respond, at least you can say, I was clear and they still said no. I did my part. It should have been, I know I fucked up. I want to take responsibility and I would love to have a conversation with you. Are you free this week, or are you free on this date to chat for a little bit? Question mark, period, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, I'm owning it, and I'm not like, yeah, like it's kind of up to you.
There's no responsibility in that text whatsoever. It's basically just saying, hey, I'm going to do the bare minimum. It's up to you now whether
I
you
think,
want to move this forward and how the conversation
right,
goes and what we do to get past this.
I agree. But now I need to go back and remember the ages here are 21, 22, and 23. When I was that age, I was sending the same text. And this, I think, comes with age and maturity. So that's me speaking from like 27. I think accountability in friendships it's a very difficult thing to learn. The flip side of this is it is shitty they're not responding after, 8 years of friendship. low-key, why do you still want to pursue that? But why do you want to be friends with them if they're still not responding over something you guys could probably work through? Then it's done. Call it done, period.
I had a friendship in high school. I was friends with a bunch of fucking bitches, and I was a bitch too. And they just did the same thing. They just stopped responding to me, and then they just told me, we don't want to be your friend anymore. And I was like, damn. And then I just had to accept that, and it was really awful. But I think you just gotta, you don't want to be friends with people like that are just gonna cut you out like that anyway.
Yeah.
I think your friends did not handle that well, and I think you did not handle that well.
Yeah. Yeah, overall.
Go find other friends. I really enjoyed reading all of those. And so if any of you want to write in, you can do that. We'd love to hear from you. So just make sure that you know that it's anonymous. We don't know who the F you are. You can write however you want. You can write in whatever silly format. It can be Reddit style. It can be blog. It can be like a damn book novel that you want to release. We do not care how your grammar is. Whatever you put out, we will read. So just
But we will
in,
read
okay?
it word for word.
We will read it word for word. So now you got a little taste of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Do your thing. This was a great conversation all about long distance friendships. You know what I want to do? Ask though? Like,
do it. Say it. Ask it.
If you, okay, since we are the connoisseurs in long distance friendships, if someone came up to you and they said, gosh, Parrish, how do you do it? How do I have a good friendship while still remaining present in my own life? How would you respond?
Right off the bat, I think it is what works best for your friendship, not what works best for you as an individual. What works best for the friendship? I think give that person a call, shoot that person a text, send them a $5 Venmo for coffee, even though coffee never costs that cheap anymore. So send them 10 and just see if it sparks anything. Those are the things that work best in friendships for me.
I think if you're listening and you have a long distance friendship anywhere, no matter how long it's been, no matter, how many days, weeks, months, years, just send them something nice. Like after you listen to this, genuinely, like that's what I'm feeling is, man, I'm wanting to reach out to all my friends because gosh, what a special relationship we get to have, that we live our own individual lives and yet have this really unique connection that we've twist and tailored to fit the needs of us in our day-to-day existence. You do not get that with everyone. And you need to tell the people that you're in those friendships with how important they are to you.
Your long distance friend is doing their life. That's what it is. And if you can understand and appreciate they're doing their life, no matter what the communication timeline is, you're going to have a great long distance friendship.
We said it the first time and we say it now. We are your long distance best friends too.
Yeah.
You may not know us. You may never meet us. You may listen to this one time and put it down and say, this is the worst podcast I've ever listened to. I don't care what you do, but just know that even if you don't even have any friends right now, you do have us. The name of this freaking show. What is it? Let's keep in touch. Let's keep in touch. So what are you going to do with us? You're going to keep in touch. What are you going to do with your long distance friends? You're going to keep in touch. Moral of this story is reach out.
Let us know what's going on in your life. Please write in, follow us on Instagram, etc. Comment. I think we're wrapped up on long distance friendships. And until next time, let's keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch. Bye, little kitties.
Bye, little kitties. Meow. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on social at Let's Keep in Touch Podcast.
Let's keep in touch. Got a juicy story that you want to share with your two new best friends? Write into our show following the link in our bio to be featured into next week's episode. See you soon, little kitties.